quickly, I just want to go back to the point about costs, because I think, because I know that in the rule they're talking about how costs, it could be kind of like accounted for at the very end of the proceeding. Or I guess a pretrial judge could actually make a cost order for the pretrial conference itself. And you were saying that there are some circumstances where a pretrial judge would do that. Can you explain that a little bit more here?
Right. So the default rule in Ontario is every time you go to court to argue something, costs are going to be sorted out that day for that hearing.
Yeah.
It doesn't really apply to pretrial conferences because a pretrial conference is not supposed to be a winner-loser scenario, right?
Yeah.
The rule in Ontario is the winner gets costs, the loser pays the winner's costs.
Right.
But a pretrial is supposed to be a mediation, it's supposed to be a settlement opportunity, and it's supposed to just flush things out. So usually those costs are then pushed forward to the trial, and whoever wins at the trial, they ask for their costs, and the pretrial conference costs are included in that. There are times where, and the rules will reference this, there are times where a judge can use their discretion to order costs at a pretrial conference. And that'll be when one party, it usually will be to punish one party, and when that party does not participate in the pretrial conference in an efficient or effective way. And when I was talking earlier about the 3 tips that I have, and one is the second one being prepared to settle. If you show up and you are not prepared to listen to settlement, and you have given no thought to it, and you're not prepared, and it's unreasonable. I mean, there's some times where it might be very reasonable, but there's sometimes where it won't. And you've wasted everybody's time, or you don't have authority to actually make any decisions. You didn't bring someone with authority, or you didn't bring your client or whatever. The judge is going to get upset that you wasted their time, you wasted the court's time, you wasted the other side's time, and they have the ability to order costs.
So does that mean you should just kind of come to the conference and be prepared and have a tabulation of the costs that you have devoted to the pretrial conference?
I don't think that I would do that. I don't think I would bring cost submissions to a pretrial conference, because I think the expectation is there's going to be no costs ordered at a pretrial conference.
Right.
But if, the way that the conference itself unfolds and based on, one party not participating or being very confrontational or something like that,
right,
you could discuss with the judge at that conference if cost submissions are appropriate, and then you could do them afterwards or by the judge's direction.
Okay, so you do have time sort of afterwards to write up a cost submissions.
You have whatever the judge says.
Whatever
right?
the judge.
I mean, it might be good to have an idea. It might be good to have something that you could give to the judge that day, but it's not something that I usually would do at a pretrial conference, is have a cost outline, because I would say it's rare that you are going to be dealing with costs of a pretrial conference at a pretrial conference.
So that's great. So basically the takeaway would be you should have the mindset that you should approach these pretrial conferences seriously, be ready to settle, and I think these are actually really good. I think a lot of people actually don't realize that the courts and the legal process has all these mechanisms to try to encourage parties to settle. And I think a lot of people actually don't realize it. They think about litigation as an adversarial process, and that's all they seem to take out of it. So thank you, Dan, for clearing that up and for explaining what to expect for a pretrial conference. Dan, I would like to invite you back to speak on enforcement. I don't know if you would like to help us out.
Sure, I'll come back and talk about anything you like.
Okay, so that's great. So thank you everyone for watching this video. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you will be notified of our upcoming videos. And thanks very much, Dan, and we'll see you at the next video. Bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.